I have a concept. Yeah. Concept. REI 3.3-inch blade. Pretty big blade. Made the designer is Krambit Maker. CPM 20 CV orange peel bronze anodized titanium. I mean, I just couldn't be any more curious to see what that is now. The REI, that doesn't necessarily ring a bell for me. Yeah, I'm still intrigued. Wow. All right. Well, cool. I mean, doesn't seem to be the standard fare. Seems a little bit different. Let's get a look at this blade. How about the back flipper? There's no jimping here, but let's get the blade out. Nice snappy action. I like the blade. Tiny little bit of jimping here. Oh, smooth. Spidey flick, very nice. Thumb flick. I'm normally not a big fan of like the gold hardware. I will say, however, on this with this bronze anodizing, maybe okay. REI, CPM 20 CV, stonewash blade. Interesting. Not so much. I mean, the action is really solid on this knife. Very solid. It's not light, it's not heavy, it's just snappy. The detent break to come out of there, Spidey flick, yeah, it's nice. Backflip. I'm gonna try to fail this. Yeah, no chance. For that detent ball to break and send that blade, there's no way to fail that. I am gonna make a mental note here. Just shy of 50% there. Interesting finish. This orange peel. You'd think it would be pretty grippy, but all in all, it feels really smooth. I mean, I don't know that I can really tell the difference between it and if it was polished. I can feel texture here up on the back. I feel texture there, but I don't really feel texture there. Feels slick, like it's polished. Sorta. Can kind of choke up there. Huh. Well, what I know about these is that pivots in there backwards to what I think it should be, which, they don't care what I think. But that means that the screw part of this pivot's going to come out the face side versus the back side. Ooh, is that loose? Wow. It's almost like it had no tension at all. The upside is what I have found is that every one of these I've been able to flip them and do them from the opposite side, which means I probably should take these screws out. Yeah, I'm going to put this one back in and try to get that out from the other side. Come on now. It worked, except I can't get the screw out unless I take the pocket clip out. So I may leave it. I don't know that I have to take it out. And yeah, it's not captured, so I can flip it and do it the way I like it. I always say it like that because, I don't know, it just seems kind of arrogant to me. I'm not a knife manufacturer, and I'm over here saying it's wrong. It's in there backwards. It's my preference. I think I'm right about that, but I'm not going to stand on that point because, sure enough, some smarty pants going to come along and tell me exactly why it should be the way that they do it and why I'm wrong about what I'm saying. And would I be wrong? Sure. Yeah. What do I know? I don't know. I just know that from a assembly, disassembly, reassembly point of perspective, that it should go in from the show side so that when I reassemble the knife, I'm pressing the lock down on top of an assembled knife. And if it's the other way, not so much. And I've talked about it a bunch, but I'll illustrate it here in a second. Nice skeletonizing going on here inside these scales. Keeps the weight down. It's a fairly light knife. I'm going to look at this lock and see where I'm at. So here's where it's at right now. And when it's locked, it's over there. So I don't know, 1/16 of an inch. Not quite a 1/16 of an inch. But it runs so well, I am not going to mess with it. So here's what I'm talking about. So this is the way they had it. Now, if I assemble this knife, I'm pressing everything down on top of this lock, and it's trying to push the blade up. It's trying to do all that. Versus if I flip it now and I put this in from the show side, it will lay flat on the table. The pocket clip's not coming into play. The lock bar's not coming into play. I'll literally be able to push this down on top of an assembled knife, basically, or the blade half-scale assembly of a knife. Much easier to function. And I'll mention it again before I'm done. Blade's got internal stop pins, rides inside the titanium scale. I like it. Big bearings. Put a little bit of oil where the detent ball is riding. There's a little track, a little groove being developed in the blade there. And see, so now everything's together except this one scale. And by doing it this way, it's a really simple process to press this down and compress. Here, I'm going to turn that a little bit. Compress the lock bar here down onto the knife versus trying to go the other route and compress that on top of it. Yeah, this is much better. I need to tighten this back screw. Yep. It was holding me up. Back spacers are that same gold. Let's see what's titanium here. So the hardware, the scales, the pocket clip, even the pocket clip hardware is all titanium. The thumb studs are metal, but they're gold. How that's gold, I don't know. Is it a paint? Some type of surface treatment. Let's check this blade for play. There's a tiny little bit when it was not locked. So let me check this. Ooh, that's a T10. Calm down. Yep. Oh yeah, it took a little turn there. Centered. Yeah, locked up real nice. Let me make sure I'm not too tight. Now, we're good to go. Good to go. All right. Let's talk about this action. It's hydraulic, a few little shakes to get it down. I am noticing, the blade's centered. It's just an optical illusion. Sometimes you look at a blade, and if you look down this way, it can look off, but then if you'll turn it, it looks perfect. If you're looking straight on. It's like it's definitely an optical illusion sometimes. Thumb flick, spidey flick, very snappy. Back flipper, off of the lock bar. I did fail it there. Tiny little bit of pressure to get it to run though. Yeah, it makes me wonder if I'm not too tight. If I take the lock bar out of it, the blade's just as free as can be, but this feels really tight. I'm actually going to adjust that a little bit. I think that it's a little over tight. And I thought it before. That's why I was talking about it. I was like, But in order to do that, I am going to have to remove the pocket clip because even though it's not the over travel stop, it kind of acts like one because it's partially over there, over the lock. See, and that's the way the knife should come apart if the pivot comes from the show side up. And I just dropped that screw. Goof. Okay, I found it. I found it. Yeah, so it just functions so much better. I have to pull this metal insert to change that lock just slightly. Because there's our over travel stop right there. All right. So let's try that right there. I changed it just enough, I think. Ooh, there's quite a bit of oil in there. I'm going to wipe that out. Come on, man. There we got it. Just slightly difficult. All right, let's go back together. And then we'll get her pivot in. And I'm going to put one screw in the back here. just to balance out the hold down from front to back. There we go. Let's make sure we don't have any play. Nope. No play. Locked up solid. The action is definitely improved. Let me try to fail it. Get off the lock bar. Well, I can definitely fail it now. Yeah, there's no tension on that detent. Definitely lightened it up. But it's locked up solid, and I think it's a small sacrifice to lighten this up. This doesn't, I can fail it from there, but now this is a little easier to function. It's not quite as an effort to get all that to run. So I am going to leave it where we've gotten it to. The only way that I could get that to not fail is to add more detent to it, and I don't want to do that. It was already, I mean, it wasn't bad, but it was stiff. It was crisp. How about that? Brisk. I probably shouldn't have done that. I don't think I'm going to get this screw in now because the pocket clip's in the way. Yeah, it is. Okay. Well, I knew it because I dealt with it when I took it out. That's all right. I mean, the action's running wonderfully. So, what would I call that action? Is there any play here? No, it's solid as a rock. Couple of shakes. I mean, really snappy spidey flick, snappy thumb flick. The back flipper snappy. You just gotta get after it. If you slow, if you intentionally go at it slow, you can fail it. But it just takes the slightest little bit of downward pressure and that'll run. I mean, I'll call it an A minus. It's solid. Ergonomics, not so confident, very confident. Well, the flipper tab definitely turns this into a confident grip, going towards very confident. I am really locked in here. Excellent grip. Reverse grip, I can cap that with the thumb right there really naturally. This is really good. I dig that. This, not so much. That reverse grip's not really going on there. It's just awkward. I mean, good ergonomics. I like it. What about the pocket clip? It felt a little weak. I'm a little concerned that it's not going to have great retention. Here's the thick stuff. And yeah, I mean, wow, what a good looking clip with the milling on it, the anodized. It's got light tension even on the thick stuff. So here in standard jean size material, it's pretty light. So I am going to pull it and put a little tension on it. I think it'll go easy. It's definitely milled titanium. Yeah, but it'll take some tension pretty easily. Okay, so here's all I did was I just put the slightest little arc in that clip just by going like this. It's not pronounced. You can't really see it, but it's enough that it is going to create tension on this spring when I lock these screws down. This is all titanium hardware here. Screws, the pocket clip, all of it. Yeah, quite a bit more. Let's go straight for the standard jean size material. Yeah, a ton more tension there. And it didn't change the look of the knife, the pocket clip, none of it. Just added a bunch of tension there, which is good. One hand in, one hand out, my spot in the back pocket. I mean, what a good looking knife. I like the bronze. I dig the milling on the clip, the orange peel. Neat. All right, let's check it for safety. Make sure we can't get any blade contact here. None through the scales in the back. The tip is recessed, so the clip's good, tip's good, and I can handle this knife any old way I want and not worry about making contact with the sharp part. It's got a good snappy little detent on the bottom. Yep. Let's check that blade. CV20. How we doing? I'm not shocked. It is a pretty tall flat grind, not super thick stock, pretty nice stuff. I like it, but very sharp. Let's talk price and availability. How much is this REI? What's the going rate? Unique, interesting, not just your standard fare. These look to be around 169, like right at 170 at Timber's Edge. And so with the discount code, that would put it, what's that? I don't know, 17 off of 170. Get you down to what, 153? Just over 150 bucks, I think. Pretty cool. Yeah. CPM 20 CV. Isn't that what it is? CPM 20 CV. Titanium. Pretty cool. All right. Appreciate y'all watching. Neat little knife. Medium to large. Yeah, maybe more of a medium knife. Yep. Pretty cool. Appreciate y'all watching.